Sunday morning, everybody. Welcome into the Philly Sports with Al. That's me and Mike. That's him on the Interrupt Sports Network. What is going on, my man, Mike?
What's going on now? Your voice, your mic just dropped like badly. So as we were doing that,
How
so
about now? Is that better?
there you go. You sound so much better now.
Too bad I can't look much better, but hey, here's everything. Here's the Sunday mornings.
Yes, it's glad I finally have a weekend off. No snow in the forecast. So
by the way, everybody, real quick, and good morning to you, Rob. Let's just give Mike Lara a round of applause because he is one of those great human beings out there who made, let's be honest, the roads more manageable, because outside of all the snow we've had lately, I really haven't had, much road issues. I can't say everybody has. I'm sure there's been problems, but thank you, Mike, and everybody who does what you do. So
yeah, our boy Pat was out there too. He was up in his county
nobody
doing his thing.
Nobody can clear a sandwich in a snowstorm like that man can. Huh?
Oh Jesus. I love the guy. Love the guy. I'm pretty sure he probably had about, I don't know, probably about 30 hot dogs throughout the storm.
That was just for breakfast.
Right, exactly. I'll tell you what, man. Good start to the Philly-Boston weekend yesterday. Down there at the Xfinity Mobile Arena. Let's start there out with the Flyers. I really got to say, man, it was nice. I had the last two post games, and for me, I like the way this team's playing. I think they came back. They kind of had a lull in that first game. Thanks, Rob. I think they had a lull in that first game against Washington, but after that, to really play against the way they played against those teams that typically they have not been playing well against over the last few years. The Rangers seem to have their number. Boston's had their number. Now, it will continue Monday night as they get ready to go to Toronto. That's another team that the Flyers, for some odd reason, just can't seem to beat. So I like how it's trending. They do have a pretty nasty schedule up ahead. They really do. This week, like I said, they start with Toronto. They got Utah comes in on Thursday, and then next Saturday, I want to know what the NHL was smoking, but they put the Flyers and Penguins on at 5:30 in the afternoon on a Saturday. That's a weird time for a hockey game. I'm sorry, but
5:30, yeah. Do you know what I love? I love Saturday 1:00 games for hockey.
Yes.
The nooners, sometimes used to do the nooners. They were fun. And I had I told you before. I told you all, and anybody who watched the show know, Rob, you're watching on Friday when I did the Philly Friday Frenzy. I had my bones to pick with the Flyers over the cost of tickets still. Even though the Flyers are not out of it per se, it's just not, are they selling, Mike? Are they selling at the deadline?
No, I think it all depends on how they do this week. Like, let's face it, the trade deadline is Friday.
Mm-hmm.
If they win these two games and they gain ground, I could see them being buyers. Now, do I think there will be some moves made? I think Owen Tippett's going.
I know Boston's been in the rumors for them.
Mikey P.
I know. I know Boston's been in the rumor mill with the Flyers, looking at Tippett, viewed as an elite forward with term, as they call it. So I would hate to see him go to. He was the big piece that we got from
Florida for Giroux.
For Giroux, yeah. So I like Owen Tippett. He's young and he's got I don't know. I don't have to give up on him unless the cost is right. But I'm here's my fear with the Flyers. Here's my absolute fear with the Flyers. We've all said it. They have not tanked totally yet. They've always kind of semi-tanked or flirted with tanking or whatever it was. But they kind of remind me of the Sixers during the process early stages. You get somebody, you don't develop them, you trade them away. You get somebody, you don't develop, you trade them away, and you're building assets, but at one point you have to go, okay, we got assets. We're bringing players in. We're developing players. With the Mitchkov kind of situation, which I think is a very big mental situation for him. I know he came off a 2-goal game off the Rangers, which was a pretty big feat for him. He needs that mentally. I think part of his problem was how I think what we don't know is the Cutter situation, how that really kind of forced the Flyers' hands and changed things up a little bit for the Flyers as an organizational and decision making. I mean, I think that kind of forced their hand to bring him up, bring him out of Russia quicker. And I don't know if he was ready. I mean, we all know in Russia he had some personality defects, but there's a growth there that needs to happen. And hopefully it's starting to happen to maybe too little too late in the season, but hopefully towards the future. But the Flyers, there's some areas that I like to see, but we've seen this game before where they play really well against Boston. And Flyers of if I had to put the biggest negative on the Flyers of 2026, Mike, inconsistency. Win a big game against a team like the Boston Bruins, maybe even going back again tomorrow and winning against the Maple Leafs, but then they'll maybe drop a game against the Mammoth or something. You know what I mean? Like that's their inconsistencies is really what's been biting them in the ass so far this season.
Yeah, it has been, but I look at it as a glass half full. I really do. I look more towards the positive than the negative on this, because you're really starting to see this team come together. And I'm sorry, but Dan Vladar yesterday stood on his head, and Boston has been one of the hottest teams in the NHL since the new year. Only Tampa Bay's had a better record than Boston. And Boston's been, that's why they've ascended, because Boston was kind of like where the Flyers were, before the first of the year. They were kind of like, 6th, 7th place in the conference, and they got on a run. So that's what leads me, and the Flyers can get on a run. And they got to beat good teams to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But if they get stellar goaltending play, like Vladar did last night, like the defense did last night, I'm sorry, the defense, to me, I felt, was pretty damn good. I mean, granted, Boston did miss a lot of opportunities yesterday. There was probably about 3 or 4 chances. I know of at least 3 where if the puck gets there a fraction of a second early, he gets beat. But this guy was making saves yesterday. And I mean, he kept the Flyers in that game. For you to hold that offense that's been averaging, okay, they've been averaging almost 3 goals a game, to no goals until they scored with 5 minutes left to go in the game. And by that time, the Flyers were up 2-0. So, I mean, to hold that team the way that they've been playing, that says something about the Flyers. And Rick Tocchet even mentioned after the game, hey, I'm noticing something different with my team. My team has come back more focused, more hungry. And I don't know if you heard about the report, Mitchkov, during the Olympic break, was doing 2-a-days. Because he...
Well, maybe somebody had and listen, Rob's sitting there saying Mitchkov will get better. He's still young. And I agree with him. Like I said earlier, I think it's a very big mental thing, like a big change of culture, going to a completely different country, being kind of alone on his own for the most part. Maybe he got a little depressed mode in his bad personality features.
Well, he wasn't in shape. I mean, a lot of people.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe he just kind of went into depressed mode in the off season. Maybe that's what it was. And
I don't know, man, but I like the way. And I'll tell you what, he had a very good game yesterday too. He was around the puck yesterday. He was back on defense playing yesterday. The Flyers overall had a really good game yesterday. The only thing that I can really say that the Flyers, they didn't take enough shots on Swam. I think up until the third period, they only had their last shot before the goal was like midway through the second period. They were outgunned 16-3 in the second period yesterday. You got to shoot the puck a little bit more, and they got to cut back on the giveaways. Their giveaways over the last 2 games have been horrendous. Now, yesterday they did do very well in the takeaway department. They took the puck away more against them, against Boston. Another thing, too, that I got to give kudos to is their special teams yesterday. Granted, Flyers didn't score on the power play, but their penalty kill was fantastic yesterday against that Bruins team. It was
Actually, the shots
fantastic.
on goal were even yesterday, 27-27.
No, it wasn't. It was 27-17. Flyers only got 17 shots yesterday.
Why is it telling me so otherwise?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's wrong, man.
Sports is off. All right.
Yeah, it was 27-17. The Flyers actually kind of made it look a little closer than what it was, but you know, and it was nice to see Coots get off the wagon there a little bit. He got the empty netter, which, by the way, that was probably the smartest play he could have done. He did not fire the puck until he got to center ice. So this way, even if he missed the net, they would have to go back and get it, and it wouldn't be icing. So I really thought the Flyers, they played with an intensity yesterday that I have not seen from this Flyers team yesterday.
Let me ask you a question.
All year.
Let me ask you this question, and maybe it leads into what you're talking about right here. We were talking off stage, we were probably prior to the show starting. We haven't talked much, like you said. You've been shoveling Delaware County out of its hole. The last week, the gold medal game, and I'm not going to look past the girls' game. That was a really good game too. But the men's gold medal game was the most exciting hockey I have witnessed in a very long time. Plus, I actually had stake in the game. Like, my team, I felt like won, and as a Flyers fan, it's been a very long time since I could say that. And it was just some of the best. Like, that's a kind of game that I could maybe, like, 2 months from now, 6 months from now, 2 years from now, I could put on like the abridged version where they take out all the commercials and stuff like that and watch it with excitement in it. Do you believe that maybe the Flyers juice came from witnessing that? Like, guys, we are capable of doing that. Maybe our team isn't built just yet, but
I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there only because I don't really think there's that many Americans on the Flyers team. It's mostly
but I'm just saying, like, that they watched the gold medal. I'm not talking about the Flyers are an American team, but I'm just talking about, hey guys, I want that. Sometimes when you see other teams win, it puts a fire under your ass. And they've had, not teammates, but guys that they've known for years, I'm sure, on the ice. And even if it wasn't for America, if it was Canada or whatever it was, I'm just saying, do you think there's any juice from just a team winning that maybe kind of woke the Flyers? And don't forget, the coach was on the bench.
Yeah, he was on Canada's bench. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, no, I don't think that had anything to do with it. I think it's their. Well, good morning, Mickey. I just think that the guys kind of got gathered a little bit and just said, all right, look, this is what we have to do. The one thing I keep hearing about the Flyers is how close that locker room is. So I just think maybe they just feel like, hey, look, now it's time, and they're doing that. But getting back to USA Hockey, that sent a message to those powerhouses that USA Hockey's here, and they're going to be here for a long time. Canada will always be good, and also you have to take an effect too. There was no Russia in this Olympics. Okay, I don't care what anybody says. When Russia plays hockey, Russia, Canada, top of the world. Sweden, Finland, United States. There's your top 6 teams right there. But USA has, with them winning gold, they're now at the big boy table, and their future looks very, very bright with USA Hockey. And I thought it was a cool moment too that they brought Gaudreau's kids out onto the ice.
I have to say, I was watching that. We were watching it on the show. Me and Maddie were covering for you. Maddie was covering for you with me, and we were watching the game. And when it went to OT, I said, all right, the show's been long enough. We need to cut it. We want to go watch it. And, not too long after the show ended, it erupted. And I'm watching it. And again, I've said it to you before. I don't really care about the Olympics very much. Olympic sports don't, and maybe it's kind of, you're right in a sense with, maybe it was more the break to give them a chance to kind of regroup and get together and all that stuff. But that was such an exciting game and such a fun game. And all that stuff, but then the Johnny Gaudreau part where they brought the jersey, not just to the bench, not just on the ice, and then the family with the team picture. It just hit home a lot. Like, it just hit home a lot. Showing respect for him and his brother Matt, because that was, that affected this area big time. Because people forget, like, I mean, they had a huge mass for him right here in Delaware County at St. Mary Magdalene's, which is a school that I played basketball at a lot when I was playing for CYO leagues.
I remember the funeral. Like, we had to kind of divert traffic around it. So yeah, I do remember that, and it does hit home. He was from this area, and he was the face of, again, he was one of the young faces of American hockey. Him and his brother. So I mean, for that, I just thought that was ultra cool. And that'll be something that those kids will remember for the rest of their life. As young as they are, they will remember, hey, look, this is when, Dad's team won the gold medal, and they made sure he was a part
Even
of
if they don't, they're going to have these images, these videos, these pictures, their family, their older family members to tell them, because that's a tough part, especially, you look from the mother standpoint, like, these kids really don't get a chance to know their father. I'll tell you, I have 2 stepchildren who were very young when their father passed away. Just not even 2 years old, and one was barely 2 years old when their father passed away. So it was very hard, for them to remember growing up and all that stuff. So that's going to be kind of what these kids are dealing with. But at least they have these images, they can go back and watch the news broadcasts, have mom and aunts and uncles and cousins and anybody who's old enough to remember, tell them about it. And it's a great little legacy thing. And good morning, Elephant in the Room. Always good to see you, my friend.
Good morning, Elephant in the Room. Yeah, and what was really cool? Somebody put a meme up. I think it was on TikTok, and it said, "Here are the Good Joke kids, and their 50 or in their 25 uncles." Yeah, and it was so cool. Like, it said the Good Joke children and their 25 uncles, and there it was them with Team USA. So I thought it was really cool, like I said, to see that. But I do want to say, like, I do believe, like, American hockey is now back in the fold as one of the premier countries for hockey. It's been a long time, and I'll tell you what, there's nobody who popped that champagne more than the 1980 team. Michael Ruzioni spoke to the team the night before. You know what he told them? He said, "Fellas, do me a favor." He said, "Win it tomorrow, will you?" He said, "We want you guys to join us. We want to be left alone. These guys are in their 60s now. They're like, we want to be left alone. Go win it, will you?" And it was kind of a lighthearted thing, but it was awesome. And now, they joined very rare air. Now, those teams, you figure, they joined the 1960 team that wins gold, the 1980 team that won gold, and now they are part of elite company. So, and it was an all-time great game. I don't care what anybody says about Canada. I have the utmost respect for Team Canada, and also Russia, Finland, Sweden. Those guys, those places are hockey factories. Without a doubt.
Yeah, I mean, listen. If you look at the NHL, if you break it down, it's Canadians, Russians, and some Swedes. Yeah, I mean, it's. I mean, you're not going to see too many Italian-based.
Exactly.
It's kind of like the Jamaican bobsledding team. You're going to get a few small glimpses of that, but it's not going to be very often.
Right. So,
and I think just to kind of go along with you, so between Team USA. And the juice that they brought, for us as hockey fans, and having something to root for, and then of course now, it's almost like I remember the '90s when you were just happy the Eagles beat Dallas Cowboys, right? Like, we know we're gonna go not win many games, but as long as we beat the Dallas Cowboys, we're okay. And Boston Bruins kind of fall into that category almost for the Flyers. So having that juice almost a week later to the day
now. What I can agree with you, Al, is the juice from that game as a fan-wise maybe could have brought something into the arena yesterday. You know what I mean? Being that USA won. Now, it doesn't have nothing to do with it. I get it. But that place yesterday, and I'll argue with anybody, that place yesterday, you would have thought they were playing for the Stanley Cup. That place was so energized yesterday. It was so loud. I could hear it on TV for a nothing game going into the middle or going into the beginning of the third period. That game yesterday was ungodly. I mean, you really had nothing to cheer about with the exception of the goaltenders. Schwayam for Boston, Vladar for the Flyers. They stole that show yesterday. And it was just really good to see. It was playoff hockey before it was playoff hockey. And for the Flyers to come out and win that game yesterday, they got to be feeling good about themselves going into Toronto. Like I said, the last three teams that they're going to be playing were teams that they have over the last 5 or 6 years have struggled against. We were owned by the Rangers. I mean, it wasn't just that long ago that Rangers fans came down and took over the Xfinity Mobile Arena. Right? Wasn't it
was a blue out.
Yeah, the blue out down here. Yeah, remember, we all got mad at Flyers fans. Like, what are you doing? Okay. Boston's kind of kicked our ass.
I was the one complaining about. I can see why they're not doing it because with the prices for the. Come on, Flyers! You need to pack that house, and you need people's butts in the seats. We gotta do a little better on the pricing. Just saying it.
But yeah, I mean that's all I'm saying. Like yesterday was a playoff game, and I love the atmosphere. I would like to see more of that for the rest of the year. I think, the fans got to bring that energy because that energy yesterday was unreal. For a nothing game going into the third period, that was it was an amazing thing to see. And I'll tell you what, I had to give kudos. Harrison played a great game on Thursday night in that. These guys, if they can get these guys locked in, if you can get Harrison locked in and along with Vladar, I think the Flyers can make a serious run. But these guys got to be locked in. Harrison still gave up the one fluky goal, but he kind of stood on his head the other night, too. So, I mean, and you're getting scoring from different people. The first goal of the game yesterday was unreal. Dvorak had I don't know how he saw Konechny coming. If you go back and look at that goal, it was like a behind-the-back pass. Like, he just threw it, and it went right on his stick. So, again, man, like, it just really worked out well for the Flyers yesterday, and I think they got to keep this momentum going, and I think they can. I really do. Now, they got some tough games coming up. Well, especially this week, but
don't forget. So, like you said, they are owning this series right now 2-1 for the 4 games that they would play the Bruins this season.
No, they play them 3 times. It's 1-1. It's 1-1.
Wait a minute, hold on. Didn't they play? Oh, that one was preseason. I'm sorry, 3 times. Yeah,
yeah.
The September game was preseason. That's right. Yep. I forgot about that.
So they lost 6-3, and then they won yesterday.
They got spanked the one game in that late January game. Okay.
Yep.
Then April 5th is the next one.
Yep, and that's also a 3:30 game. So that'd probably be another ABC game. But I just like the way that they're playing right now, Al. And if they can continue this, we're going to have a dilemma here because you're going to have Phillies baseball starting up here really at the end of the month. And then if the Flyers make the postseason, there's always so much of us can go around here, buddy.
Yeah, you might be seeing my ass on the post-game show for the Phillies for at least a couple weeks. It'd just be a solo Al. Hey, honey, I'm going to have to take the weeks or 2 off from work. I'm just gluing my ass to the seat and microphone here. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, people are going to get sick of seeing us, but I love that.
Most people are.
Exactly. But you ready to switch? Where are you going to go down?
I guess we'll talk a little Phillies. I'm here down in spring training. No, I'm not. It's all digital. I wish I was. It is my grace. And I always said my retirement, Mike, is going to be retiring down to Clearwater and be one of those older guys who are showing you your seats or working in the stores or whatever like that. Like, just that's my retirement plan. I don't know if you've ever been to Clearwater, like by the State Fair Stadium.
Once. I was down there, and it was, early 90s.
Okay.
My aunt had a place in Clearwater Beach, and my mom went down, and then I flew down to join my mom down there, and we were both down there for a little bit. And
it's funny. They now have it's almost like, I don't say row homes, but I guess like townhouses, row homes, whatever you want to call them, like right by the stadium. Like you could literally live there and walk 2 blocks to get to where you need to be. So I'm like, I told my wife, I said, start looking at those houses. We'll sell this house and we'll move down there and buy us a nice little house down there. We'll minutes away from St. Pete's and down to Clearwater Beach and enjoy it. Like every old person from Delaware County does, and just go to Florida. You know what I mean? Like that's
Listen. I'm right there. Like I got family lives about an hour and a half south of there. They live in like Fort Myers area, and they told me they've been trying to get me to move to Florida for like the last 3 years. And I told them, I said, "Dude, I just started with the state. Like now you want me to move down there? Like no, I got to put some time in up here with this." But yeah, me and the wife have always talked. We're either going to move to Florida or Vegas. So.
okay.
One of the two places.
I don't know, Mike. It would be good for you to move to Vegas. Well,
I would love it. I would love it. You want to know what? Listen, I will tell you this right now. If you ever go into Vegas, Al, you have to go at least once. And I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you know they have the longest days ever.
Yes.
Like I want to be out there. My big thing is I want to be out there during football season. Only reason being is I get up early on Sunday anyway. So, like, can you imagine? Game 1 starts at 10 o'clock in the morning.
I know. I always said that. I'm like, could you imagine?
Dude, by 8 o'clock at night, your football day is done. Like, you still have the rest of the night to go do whatever. Like, I'm moving there.
So if you're a hockey fan watching Team USA at 8 a.m., you're in the West Coast. You're at 5 a.m. Yeah, that's kind of, I guess, where the down part is. But you know what? For something like that, I can get up at 5 a.m. for.
You want to laugh? I went to a Philly sports bar out there, and my buddy we found it by accident, but it was a Philly sports bar. We went, literally, we went there for happy hour. And like it started, their happy hour was like 3 to 9. That was their happy hour. So we went there at 3 o'clock. We're like, all right, let's go. Well, 4 o'clock, dude. 4 o'clock, the Phillies game's on the TV. And I'm sitting there going, oh, wow, this is cool. You know, and we're sitting there watching the Phillies game or whatever. And he goes, oh, yeah, man. He goes, we put them on every day. He goes, the only time that's really hard, he goes, is the 10 o'clock games in the morning. He goes, sometimes he goes, I'll come in and open up. He goes, and we'll do a breakfast buffet for the Phillies. He goes, and I'm like,
awesome.
I'm like, what?
You got me excited. Could I have brunch or buffet of breakfast and watch the Phillies at the same time? Because, you know, when I think it was Peacock had those Peacock games and they were like 11 a.m. starts, I believe. I enjoyed them. Like watching the Phillies start and then be done by like 1:30, you know, like I was excited about that. Like it goes to show you how old we are, because back in the day, I'm like, oh yeah, 4 o'clock games and midnight games are the best. Now these.
Yeah, that's because we were young, getting up in the morning. Yeah. Now you don't care. But listen, I want to do. I want to try and see how much that Field of Dreams game is.
I already looked at the flights too. I'm like, oh, can I want to go to that. I do. It's just I was watching I walked in. It's funny. I walked in the house the other day, about a little less than a week ago, and my father-in-law was watching Field of Dreams, and I'm like, oh. And I started like pricing out tickets. I'm like on my phone. Dawn's looking over my shoulder, like, what are you doing? What are you thinking about? I'm like, you don't want to know. But
yeah. I told Jamie. Jamie said she asked me what I wanted. I turned a big 5-0 in June, so she asked me, you know, what do I want? And I wanted to do the All-Star thing, but it's looking like it's too priced out for me. Yeah. Like she would do it. Like
even home run derby is
it's not expensive. Home run derby. Yo, the standing room for the home run derby, $500.
I'm looking at the futures game. I might go to that. I'm going to see if I can swing those tickets.
Ain't that the day before, right? Or is that Sunday before?
It's the day before home run derby.
Yeah, that's Sunday.
Or in between. I forget, something like that. But yeah, I might try to get that because it's usually during the day. It doesn't pack the stadium usually. So the prices should be somewhat reasonable. And I could just like, I have my All-Star game ticket from when I was younger. I was able to go to that back in the day when, 30 years ago they did that.
I actually sold my ticket for that. I said I ain't going down to that. I said I'll sit at home and watch it, because if you remember, the Phillies only had one representative in the whole thing. It was Ricky.
I was very young. I had to go with somebody at that time.
I did go to the home run contest though. That was entertaining. I sat in left field, 500 level. It was the level that kind of overlooked.
Yeah.
I was sitting there, dude.
So many levels at the bed. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, McGuire was hitting bombs up there all throughout the whole thing.
Is
Him,
it-
Juan
that was
Gonzalez.
that was peak juice era, dude. That was when the juice was flowing before people even knew what.
Yeah, I think it was McGuire and Bonds went head to head in the final, if I remember right. But
Well, like I
the
said,
only cool thing I want to know, Al, I want to know if they're going to do the fan experience thing again, because they had it at the convention center.
I'm sure they're going to do something like that.
Now that I might do.
The way that the draft went with for the Eagles back in, was it 2018?
Mm-hmm.
They blew it out the water. So with it being in the summertime, so it's going to be nice, hot but nice weather. They're going to do something. They'll take over that some sort of area.
I hope they do, because that interactive thing was awesome, dude.
I really dislike the 4 p.m. games for me. They're mid-afternoon. Sun plays too much into the game. Like the early starts on the 7 p.m. starts or the 7 p.m. For baseball, like for the East Coast, yeah, I don't mind the 7 p.m. because it's usually only on Sundays for us when they're that late. So I don't mind.
I think he's talking about baseball. I don't think that's football. Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. I mean, either way, I'm talking. I understand what he's saying. He's just talking about the mid-afternoon Sunday games when they do like those weird, or even football games. I mean, same thing. Like, I like them early so I can start my day, or late because I'm already relaxing and watching the game at that point. When we do this, that's always the issue. But we got to see the World Baseball Classic is coming, so we got to see Harper, Schwarber, Turner, and Christopher Sanchez before they all head out to their respective teams for World Baseball.
I wanted to ask you that too. Like the last time they did that, I remember, I may be wrong, but didn't they report to their teams, like their country team first? They played the tournament, then they came into camp? Because that's what I remember.
Maybe
I remember
starting later. I don't know. Maybe it's just a different start time. I kind of like it this way. Especially with the Phillies, with all the BS that's flying around the team, it's probably good that they got there and they got in the mix. I know we're going to touch on it in a second. I don't know if you saw the report come out about Gene Segura and Harper yelling at him when he was here about get out. He was on a loud phone call.
I saw that. I actually saw him. I actually saw the interview on it, and to me, it was just more or less like, "Yo, dude, this isn't just your lock," because he was on a phone call and it was loud. It was going through a speaper. So he said, "No, man, take that outside."
Even Gene said, "Yeah, us Dominicans are loud. We know that,
and
people are blowing this. I love the people retweet like this isn't good. I said, how is Gene Segura and Harper have anything to do with the 2026 Phillies? Like
Segura's retired.
I mean, like you guys have to relax. Like the people are just always looking for drama. Yeah, he was probably. I mean, we've all been on like a bus, for instance, where people are on a loud phone call. We would all like to been able to say, "Yo, dude, shut the hell up, dude. You're being loud. Like, go take your call outside." Hey, maybe Harper was a douchebag about it. Nobody would be shocked to find out that Harper has like a bit of a douchebag personality. The man, he even said in his interview, man just signed a 13-year, $330 million contract. He's got the clout. I have nothing to say. I kind of swallowed my pride and move on with it. So he's a douchebag, but the guy was also on a loud phone call. They were both being douchebags in my eyes, if you look at it from a very simplistic standpoint. But who gives a shit?
Who know what it is?
Who has a bearing on our 2026 season means nothing.
Right. To me, this is all just filling. This is just filling in. You know what I mean? Like this is filler till we get to real games being played. Eagles moving on to the draft and free agency. That's all this is. It's just filler. It's nonsense. You know what I mean?
Well, here's the one thing is, I understand what you're saying, but spring training, if you look at all the preseason hockey, preseason football, preseason basketball, preseason baseball is the only preseason, baseball is the only preseason games I get up for. Like, I want to watch. I want to watch the Phillies play today at 1:00 against the Yankees. I know it's preseason. I know you're going to see a guy pitch 2 innings, 3 innings tops. Guy hit a couple, 2-3 innings. And now that Schwarber and all them, those guys are gone and off to the World Baseball Classic, you're really not going to see much of anybody. But it's the only one I want to watch because I want to watch guys individually. Like, for instance, let's talk about the Aiden Miller injury concern, right? That's actually something that's important to the 2026 Phillies. because the rumors are still floating around that Alec Boehm could still be moved. Now, it doesn't mean if there's no Aiden Miller, doesn't mean they couldn't play, but could they run the season with Amundo Sosa at third base or platoon him and Otto Kemp if needed? If the price is right for Alec Boehm, whatever.
Listen, yeah, bye. Like I've been wanting Boehm going anyway. Like to me, I'm sorry. Like to me, he's inconsistent. I would hold off on trading him until the trade deadline. Okay, see what you're going to get out of him. Because I will say this: yes, he's a doubles hitter, but he's got to be more of a double. Like the problem I feel with Boehm is a lot of people look at his build and expect him to be a power hitter, and he's just not a power hitter.
I want guys. Actually, the only person I really want to be a power hitter on our team is Kyle Schwarber. That's the only person, especially in that 4-hole. I kind of talked about it. I'm going to discuss with you in a moment this lineup, and I don't like bringing up other guys too much, and I don't usually agree with the one guy, but I don't hate his lineup, and I'll explain to you why in a minute. But I like what Elephant in the Room said here. It doesn't seem like Harper likes too much music or noise after a loss, which I don't blame him. And it is ironic that he was on the phone with Carlos Santana when it all went down, who was the guy who smashed the TV because the guys were playing video games when they were getting their butts stomped. Listen, and Rob, guess what? Buckle in, because no matter how long, I don't care, 5 years from now, 50 years from now, 100 years from now, people like drama, and if they're going to bring, even where there's not drama, the Gene Segura is not drama. The Gene Segura, Bryce Harper story is not drama. It is not even a story. It's just been made a story because Twitter and people are like, oh no, Bryce Harper yelled at Gene Segura 107 years ago. Who gives a shit? It means nothing. That's not even last year.
Yeah, right.
It's 2 years ago. It's not even like it really doesn't count to anything. But it's always going to be there because people like drama. Drama sells, and the easiest place to make drama soup is right here in Philadelphia.
Yep, because we react to it.
It is just what it is.
Listen, you want drama to go away from Philly? Stop reacting to it. Plain and simple. Stop reacting.
Truer words were ever spoken, Mike Lauro.
Don't react to it. Again, guys who rage bait, guys like a Skip Bayless, guys like Nick Wright, okay? All they got to do is talk about Philadelphia, and that's it. And then all of a sudden, here comes the village with the pitchforks and the flaming pitchforks and torches. They go right back at them, man. Let them dudes talk. You know what I mean? Don't give them the satisfaction. They know going in. I say it all the time. I don't despise Nick Wright because Nick Wright's been wrong about a lot of stuff.
Maybe they should change his name.
Right? He's been wrong a lot of stuff about the Eagles. He's been right to some degree on some things, but he's been more wrong about
twice a day.
Right, exactly. He's been more wrong about the Eagles than he's been right about, okay? But he still goes on there. He plays the heel. Yeah, okay? He's a good heel. He knows he can dig at Philadelphia. I'm sorry. I wanted to watch the day after the Eagles stomped Kansas City in the Super Bowl because I just wanted to see what he had to say. And for the first time, he couldn't troll Philadelphia. He really couldn't troll. That's why I don't take nothing with any of these talking heads. Same thing with who's the guy that's on with our old linebacker, the old special teamer that has a show with Shady, Acho.
Oh man, Acho.
Dude, yeah, my man flip flops like a fish out of water. 1 minute he's saying this about the Eagles, the next minute he's saying that. Now I will give Acho some credit. He will put on tape and show you how to break down what he's breaking down. I've seen him do that. But, man, my man flip-flops like a fish out of water. But, again, it's to get views. Who can he talk about? Why do you think ESPN's been – they harp on the Eagles all the time now? The Eagles, to me, I feel like have become the new Dallas Cowboys as far as media. Okay? We're easy to talk about. Our fan base will defend our team. That's worth defending, okay? If you take a look at it, right now, this whole thing, okay, the Eagles went through coaching changes. That happens. Look at all of the new offensive coordinators in the NFL this year. But you wouldn't know it if you look at ESPN and all them other. Only the Eagles, because we feed into it. Stop feeding into it. Stop feeding into it. It'll go away.
Well, here's something, I'll explain to you. And I did this on my Twitter. I wasn't going to bring it on the show, and I'm going to hit a couple of these comments because I have something uploading. I want to play it for you because I want to show you how ridiculous it is in 1 second. But I want to hit some of these comments. It seems like I know you got that. Here you go. Mike Papernick. Oh, let's kiss Harper's ass. How about Harper going out there this year and getting another 100+ RBI season since 2019? He only has 2 100+ RBI seasons in his career. Who's kissing his ass? I'm not kissing his ass. I'm just saying I don't care because he yelled at some dude for having a loud phone call when the whole team's pissed off after a loss. I don't blame him. He was just the only one with the cojones to do it, Mike Papernick. Like, at that point, it's like, what does him having 100+ RBIs have anything to do? Listen, Bryce Harper has not lived up to what we were hoping Bryce Harper would be. And let's be honest, everybody assumed it was going to be a World Series W, at least one, with Bryce Harper the minute he got there. And it should have been. I mean, for what he got paid and for what everything is, I'm not denying that. And yes, has he lived up to it with all the injuries he's had? No. With the inconsistent play he's had? No. With the postseason that him and the rest of the team have had? No. But what does that have to do with kissing his ass? I ain't kissing his ass. I'm glad he yelled at him.
I don't know. Hold on. I got to disagree with you, Al.
What?
I think he's not – okay, maybe his regular season numbers – you can't deny the dude in the postseason, especially the first two. Was it 22, 23?
Well, since 23.
22.
Since 23.
I mean, come on, dude. Like, he did. Listen, he put him on his back. He put him on his back in that. So, yeah, I'm sorry. Like, other guys needed to step up. Now, granted, 24, nobody on that team hit.
Elephant, I don't know how old you are, but I'm not even talking about Boost Mobile. Do you all remember the Nextels? You had to push the button. It was like a walkie-talkie, but it was like a direct call to them. Those were worse, dude. I had one for about a year because they were first part super expensive, like just so you could sit there and like, yo, Mike, dude, what are you doing right now? Instead of just calling you like or texting you like we normally would nowadays. And it was the most intrusive thing in the world. Like, it was only meant to be for like contractors, work people. They were the most intrusive things.
So, yeah, it's crazy, man. Like I said,
Me saying kissing Harper's ass was not at you, but the Phillies team and coaches and management.
Well, like, what are they going to do? Like, he's their star player. Like, you don't think Judge gets? You don't think Judge gets his ass kissed? Like,
no, but also, even if when was the score last year? 2022. That was his last year here. Yeah. So he's still early on his contract. They were a hot team that everybody thought was going to be winning a World Series sooner rather than later. And he was the biggest name in baseball for the most part at that point, outside maybe Shohei Ohtani and making some of the biggest money at the time. So, yeah, you're going to get your ass kissed. It kind of comes with the clout. I mean, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but it comes with
happens. It comes with him being that player. And, I hate overhearing someone else's phone call. God. Me too. Look, I listen, I speak up, man. If somebody's doing that, oh my God. See,
the big old
no, listen, Al, I have one, and I used to have an alert, and it was a voice. It was an old lady's voice. She was like, "Where are you at?" Dude, I left that at my ex-wife's house one time. Dude, her sister would not walk in the house because that's all you heard was it going off, going, "Where are you at? Where are you at?" She thought her house was haunted. Swear to God. Would not go in her house.
So elephant in the room. I always say I have my few pet peeves. Of course, is overhearing people's phone calls. Like, I could care less what anybody else is talking about. I don't care if you're like giving trade secrets of some sort. But the other one is hearing about people's fantasy teams and how they almost won this week. That was also one of my biggest pet peeves. I don't want to hear about your fantasy team. Like, I don't care. Nothing gets, and I've done it myself. Like, oh man, I got hosed this week. And like, I looked at myself in the mirror like, nope,
shut up.
You're an asshole. So we're living off Harper's big moments in the playoffs from 3 to 4 years ago. What? No.
No, he's referring to me. I mean, listen, Mike, you're just going to kill him. Like, you just want to kill Harper. I mean, I get it. The two guys you kill on this team on a regular basis is Harper and Robbie. And I'm not saying that it doesn't warrant it. For the money that Harper is making, he should be performing a lot better than what he has. But there's also other people on this team who have not lived up to what they are being paid to. I mean, take a look at it. Alec Bohm hasn't lived up to anything. Castellanos had one good playoff run. One good one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that was it. That was the Mets series. That was it. Okay.
He had a hit during this last playoff run because they were few and far in between. That's why I felt like, oh, he's more productive. Yeah, well, it's hard not to be more productive than nothing.
Right.
And you also a blunder on the base path. So
right. I mean, Turner. I mean, I have yet to see playoff Trey.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I mean, it's not just Harper, but he's the $313 million man. Harper's he's going to get all the blame and all the criticism.
With the clout comes that as well.
Yeah. Okay. But there's people behind him in this lineup that are not producing as well. So again, this is why, and I agree with Mike when he says running it back is stupid. Okay, but what else do you want them to do? They can't trade Harper. They can't trade Turner. So there's two contracts they're stuck with. They just went out and re-signed Schwarber. Schwarber's going to retire here. So, I mean.
So I wanted to play this for you real quick because you were talking about flip-flopping and we were talking about drama. I don't want to get too far off the beaten path. It took a second for the video to upload. I went and ripped it from Twitter real quick. It's a minute and a half long. It's not a long video. But it's my favorite flip-flopper. You mentioned Emmanuel Acho, can't stand him. Nick Wright can't stand him much either. All those guys. But who's the one I can't stand the most, Mike Laro? Who do I hate? I just loathe this man. Is Scam Newton. Newton is the worst. You want to see the biggest flip-flop moment? This has happened this week. Here you go.
I would actually look to move Jalen Hurts before A.J. Brown.
Hold up! Stop! Nasir, I got him. And Meek, I got this guy. I gotta ask the question that everybody's wondering. Who the hell is Buddy, man?
This is Andrew Filipponi, man. He joined.
Andrew, you're tripping.
He joined First Things First to say this take.
Let me tell you, first thing first, that was the dumbest take I've ever heard. You was trying to be known. Here you go.
Congratulations.
Andrew, what the hell was you smoking? Was you drinking? You sure enough wasn't thinking. Because the trade Jalen Hurts? No, hell no. What they say in New York? Is you dumb?
But why would you say that even when it's been taped saying everything around Jalen Hurts makes Jalen Hurts who he is?
Yes, but Jalen Hurts hasn't even played his best football yet. So why do away with him? Jalen Hurts ain't making the mockery in the media. Jalen Hurts has been nothing but a model citizen. Jalen Hurts has won football games. It may not be how you like it, but he's won football games. It may not be how I like it, but he's won football games. Look at his record. That's what everybody wants to say. His record is almost pristine. Given off his peers, he's in the top percentile. Yo, why trade him? Why do that? Does he need to get better? Hell yeah, I'll be the first person to tell you that. But trading him? Hell. Andrew.
Drewski.
What are you doing, buddy? Come on, just because you got a mic. Like, no. No. Hell no. Somebody go touch his forehead, touch his cheeks. Now, with the next cheek you touch, open palm slap the head. Like, what are you doing? God, come on, bro. That's bad take. Here.
This man has the audacity to call somebody's take ridiculous. He is all but talking about trading, and he even admitted, maybe not the way I like it, but he has blamed any of the Eagles' foibles on Jalen Hurts. But because one other guy went a little this is my point is, if you're going to go there, like if you're going to be that guy, and just because you're loud, both voice and the way you dress, doesn't make you right, okay? Loudest person in the conversation isn't always right. A lot of people think that. That's the biggest load of crap in my life. It's usually the one who's more steady and calm in my eyes. But because you all suddenly, because somebody wants just a little bit, just a little bit more crazier than you tend to do, that's where you bring it. And you're going to say, slap him, he's being ridiculous. You've all but said that, dude. Talk about flip-flopping.
I can't take somebody seriously that looks like my grandmother dressed on a Sunday getting ready to go to church.
Yeah.
Like, I don't take nothing. Cam is another troll. Cam is a troll. Look at all that, how him and Gilly were going back and forth. It was so funny. They met in New York. Somebody actually filmed them and was like, this is some BS. Gilly ran up to him. He saw Gilly. They started hugging. Once I seen that, I stopped worried about, like, I was like, okay. I was like, that's a work. They just talk about each other online. They just to give views. That's it. Because they was all hugging, being buddy. I was like, nope. But I cannot take him seriously, Al. I can't. I cannot take him. Because Cam, at best, was a mid-level pro quarterback. He was mid. He could run. He could throw a ball. Okay, yeah. But he wasn't that good. This dude's talking like he's an Hall of Famer.
Not the way I like it. I mean, come on, man. You made it to a Super Bowl. You had a really good one really good season. Let's just call it for what it is. You had some stats, and he has said it himself. I'd rather be an MVP quarterback and have the stats and my personal accolades than winning the Super Bowl. That's more important to him. That should say it all. Like, he should have been totally discredited at that time. And that, for anybody who pushes back on Jalen Hurts for why you do or do not like him, that's where I press on you. Because that man is what it's all about. The bottom line is winning. He don't care if he has 100 yards and no passing touchdowns and no rushing touchdowns and no tush pushes. If they win the Super Bowl, that's all that matters to him.
Well, we're talking about birds right now. We kind of segue into the birds off the Phillies.
Then hold on. Since we are moving it over.
Get your pick in there. There you go. There's the lineup today.
There's your lineup today. So Turner is actually in the lineup. I thought they said he was done, but he's in the lineup today. Remuto, Bohm, Garcia, Stott, De La Cruz, by the way.
I like him. I like this kid. I really like him.
Rojas is at center field. I would have preferred to see Crawford, Moore, Marchand. But the one I want to show you there is not the guy in the lineup, but the guy on the mound. We're going to see Andrew Painter today. I'm going to sit back. It's going to be must-see spring training for the big guy.
Is that on Comcast today, buddy?
NBC Sports, my friend.
Yep. All right. Sorry. Yeah, NBC Sports. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, now that we got the Phillies game, I think I might actually watch that today. Get some time in. But I am breaking out here. I did my third mock draft of the year for our Eagles, and I got a pretty good grade on it. So let's see here. I'm going to bring it up here. There you go. This is the overall grade. With their first pick at 23, I got them taking Kenyon Sadiq, the tight end out of Oregon. At 54, I did also do a trade in this as well. I got a extra fourth round pick, I believe, in this. So, and I only moved back like 2 spots, and I got an extra fourth round pick. So, but yeah, I got Sadiq, Christian Miller, the defensive lineman from Georgia. You compare him up with the other Bulldogs on that front line. He is a beast as well.
Yeah, actually, I watched some video on him, and he's been talking to the guys. So the Eagles, I think, actually had a conversation with Miller or Miller's people or something. But keep going.
I got Isaiah World, another Oregon offensive tackle.
I love the name, and I love him, by the way. Very big fan of him. You know me. I love my big man, and I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos on him. I if we got him, number 88, that would be huge. I think he goes before that, to be honest.
Well, I with the fourth round, I think this is the fourth round. My second
without trading up, right? This is if they pick everything at
No. I made a trade. I got 2 fourth rounders, so I'm trying to remember what round. Anyway, the fifth pick that I have, or fourth pick that I have, would be Devin Moore, cornerback out of Florida.
Mm-hmm.
That was at pick 98. Then 2 picks later, that's what it was. This is where I got the 2. 98, I think, is theirs. Or 93, I think, is where the Eagles pick at. I traded back with somebody. I think it was Jacksonville, and I got these 2 picks. I was able to grab Devin Moore from Florida and Zakee Wheatley from Penn State. It was safety, hard hitter. Also stayed in at 122. I took Drew Shelton, another offensive tackle from Penn State. Big body. I took 3 Penn State guys. They just kind of fell into my lap there. They were best player available, really, as we got down here. With pick 137, I took Brennan Thompson, wide receiver from Mississippi State. This kid got blazing speed, man. Blazing speed. 151, Drew Aller was there. You know how he likes to take a quarterback, and if he moves on from Tanner McKee, you can kind of groom Aller to be
that conversation has been heating up a little bit, and I got a lot of grief for that. Remember, I put it out there after our conversation 2 weeks ago about trading Tanner, maybe to get it was Max Crosby. Now I knew it was a little crazy, but also trading a big name like Jordan Davis instead of giving up picks. You know, people saw him crazy, but hey, look, it looks like he's in that conversation.
Right. And Jadadian, I guess it's Kennedy, cornerback from Oregon.
He was called Kennedy, you know it.
Yeah. It's Kennedy. But overall grade for the draft on the mock simulator gave me an A on this one. But I did all these picks, man. And, some of it kind of makes sense, though, Al, if you really look at it. I'm going to take it down for a second. But, if you're looking at somebody's I kind of saw a lot of value in there. Like, I don't think Thompson – I'm going to pull it back up real quick. Brennan Thompson, I would be surprised if he's at 137. I think he goes before that. That kid is really good.
There's some speed and there's going to be a lot of – this is a pretty extensive wide receiver draft in my eyes.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Yeah, I know I only got 1 defensive lineman, but I got, 1, 2 – I got 2 tackles in this, a tight end. I got a safety and 2 cornerbacks and a quarterback. So, I mean, to me, that's a pretty decent draft. I mean, and this is like how the board fell, to me. So, I've been doing these mock drafts now. This is going to be my third mock draft, number 3. I'll be putting it out on our socials later on today. But for me, man, I really like it. I think it's a very good. I would be happy with that draft, considering what they're getting.
So with the current layout, the Eagles have their first, their second. They don't have their third per se this year, but they have the Jets' third this year because of the trade for Hassan Reddick in 2024. So they actually have this year's Jets pick. So that's a higher pick on the third round for us. Then they have a comp pick for a third rounder. So technically, they would have had 3 if we didn't trade our Jalen Phillips one away. They have 2 fourths. One of them is a comp. They have a 5th round, which is or 2 fifths. I'm sorry. They have the comp, and they have the Atlanta Falcons 5th round, which is going to be higher up on it, which is good. They traded ours away. What was that? Sam Howell, when they traded for Sam Howell.
Oh, okay.
And they have a 5th round, the 5th round comp, like I mentioned. They have no 6th round pick. They trade away a lot of their 6th round picks, and a lot of them got moved around. I mean, they traded away the 2 6th round picks. They had, the 6th and 7th round picks. They have no 6th or 7th round. They traded both of them away a handful of times. It moved around a lot.
Yeah, that's why I said, like, with mine, if you take a look, I think I got up. I didn't have a 7th round pick with my mock. I did not, and in a way, I kind of felt bad. I should have maybe, like, there was a couple of them that wanted to give me drafts capital for next year. Like, that's the only thing I don't like with trades in this, because some of the trades they offer you is just like outlandish. Like, I had the Falcons offer me like 7 picks, but like 4 to 7 picks were for the next year. So I was like, no, I'm not doing that.
So, and here's my thing is, call me crazy, right? But I would rather have a bunch of 5 and up round picks than any 6 and 7 round picks.
Right. Like my last pick
here we go.
Mock this.
Hey,
man.
He's in town, ladies and gentlemen. Here he is. He has awoken. Anyway, what did I say to you? I wanted to use this graphic, so here you go. Here it is. It's like every meeting we have right here. It's just he comes in the room, He yells and screams at us. Usually, we don't even know what it's about, and then he leaves.
Yeah, it's like it's like
our,
trying to follow the bouncing ball.
Yeah, that is the board meetings over the It's a Wrap Sports Network for the most part.
Yeah, I actually tried to follow his game yesterday. I was trying to look for him, like this little thing. He said he was in Alabama, and I'm sitting there looking, and I was kind of skimming through because it was a 5-hour like broadcast. I'm like looking to see where I could see Matty B at, and I couldn't couldn't find him.
The best way to do it. Here's the best way to do it. Find some player crying and an umpire screaming in their face, and then or somebody in the stands yelling at the umpire and then him yelling back at them. Like that's the easiest way to pick him out of a crowd.
Well, here's the thing. Like there was an incident where the manager was like in somebody's face, and I was like, oh, I'm like, get a close up. And then like the umpire turned and said something to the guys that were calling the game. Like he turned around and said something to him. I was like, is that Matty? I was looking, man, to see if it was him, but it was pretty cool though. Seeing that in.
Here we go. I was the plate game for all of it. It was 3 games. Yeah, Matty's I'm sure is definitely tired. That's why he's coughing a little later in the morning.
Yeah, you better go get some WD-40 for them knees, Matty, if you were behind the plate for all 3 games.
Yeah. The AJ Brown speculation continues.
He ain't going nowhere. He's not going. I'd be real surprised if he goes anywhere.
I said on Friday, this is my feelings. Unless it is a really blow it out of the water type offer.
Yeah.
Like first round, second round, like 2, 1 of each. Not just one. Not just one. First round, second round, or first round in a significant player somewhere. That's the only way I see it happening, and I don't see people paying for AJ Brown that much. Not saying he's not worth it. I mean, maybe somebody will go over the top. I mean, I know it's always New England, and Vrabel had the words for him. It's just the reason I think of mostly is Sean Mannion won the job, right? Apparently, he came in with some sort of slideshow presentation. He had like this whole Pepe Sanchez meme, beautiful mind, layout for the Eagles. And here's your team. Here's what I saw. Here's what I think we can do. Here's how my scheme and your team could be just put the Eagles back on top. I have to imagine AJ Brown's part of that. And you would kind of be putting your team at a disadvantage unless you're not looking to win. The Eagle, I mean, this is the Howie offseason. I know Matty B's listening, so his ears just perked up. But this is the Howie offseason. There's a lot of moves to be made. I'm not just talking about legal tampering and free agency in the draft. I'm talking about signing and re-signing and what are you gonna do with Jalen Carter? What are you gonna do with Jordan Davis? I'm still I love Jordan Davis. I think he was really good. But a decision, can you keep both of them? Because if Jordan Davis gets $20 million a year-ish, it could be more easily. And if Jalen Carter gets closer to $30 million, I mean, you're $50-ish million for 2 guys. That's almost.
Am I missing something here? Jordan Davis had 1 good year in 5 years.
Listen,
one.
Listen,
I'm sorry. I'm ready. I'm ready for him to walk. You can draft a run stopper. And that's all he is a run stopper. And I'm sorry, I'm not paying him $20 million. I'm not going to pay him.
I don't disagree with you too much. He's definitely got a little bit more leadership under his belt this year. Definitely had more of a resurgence, so maybe that's the turning point for him. But my point is it a terrible move? And I've gotten some backlash for this. So, and I'm Mike, you can backlash at me, guys in the chat. Matty B, I'm ready. I got the garlic around my neck. I'm ready to roll. My question is it terrible that you drafted a guy in the first round and you were able to win a Super Bowl, get to 2, win 1, have him be big parts of the wins that you've occurred, but then in his 5th year, trade him at a high value and get some really good trade value for him?
I don't
feels like if this guy's homegrown and he's won and he should be running with us for the next 4 or 5 years. But that's why I said I threw him into that Max Crosby trade, because I feel like, why can't you use that for him? Because if I'm Vegas, right, and I'm looking at Max Crosby, and I'm looking, okay, well, if I'm going to get some trade value for him, and I can get a first round pick and a Jordan Davis type player, that's 2 first rounders right there for me. That's what it is. And one of those first round picks is guaranteed to be a damn good player. And if you get a pass rusher in I mean, it's not the same position, but it's on the defensive line. It helps you out a lot. And he's young. You could sign him to a 4-year in an affordable contract that's a lot less than you're paying Max Crosby. And you could have a guy who's going to be around if the Vegas Raiders continue to move up. So that's my feelings on that.
I just don't feel Jordan Davis is going to get you back what you think he's going to get you back. I just don't. I don't see.
You don't think he'd fetch you a second rounder?
No. If we got
even a late second rounder,
we got a 4th round pick. That's probably the ceiling for him.
Oh, I disagree with that.
No, listen. No. He's had one good year. I'm not. Listen,
Yeah, but my thing is, I understand he's one good year, but he's got gradually better each year. He was a big part of the wins. He saved a couple games for us this year. He's trimmed down. He's played a lot of the snaps.
It's a contract year. It's a contract year.
But that's my thing is, it's a contract year. So just like with A.J. Brown, when you trade for him, you're probably going to sign him to a contract. So you could probably get him now. And $20 million for an elite pass rusher, that's not a lot of money.
But he's not elite. That's the whole thing. I'm not seeing this Jordan Davis love all of a sudden. He had one good year. Come back and prove it again. I got to see more than just 1 year. You have one. This is going on year 5, dude. He had 1 year out of 4 years. Sorry, not sorry. You were a high draft pick. You were a number 1 draft pick. No, you were supposed to come in and do what Jalen Carter's doing. If he did what Jalen Carter was doing, then I could see your point, and I would be like, yeah, that's a first rounder. You got to. I need a first and a second. We'll talk. But no, he's not Jalen Carter. Okay, he's Jordan Davis, and I'm sorry, he's played 25% of his contract was good. That's it, 25%. He's not fetching us a first or a second.
Yeah, but guys, I mean, Brandon Graham, I always use him as an example. They're at to let him go. Jason Kelsey, here's another one. They're about to let him go now. He was
but they're a dime a dozen. They're a dime a dozen. This guy, again, you have to see. I want to see another year. See another year. You forget, too, like the Eagles don't use the franchise tag, but this could be a time where they use that franchise tag. Okay? I would hold off. For me, I'm sorry. I need to see another year like Jordan Davis had this past year. If he comes in and gives me another year like that, dude, then hey, I'm right there with you.
But then you get nothing for him, and you most likely aren't signing him.
Then that's how the T rolls. But again, he hasn't proven his weight. He has not. You
don't think there'll be a team out there who would not pay a good chunk of money or a good piece to get a
Jalen Carter, yes. Jordan Davis, no. You're not getting no more than a 4th rounder for him. If somebody offered a 3rd rounder for Jalen Carter, or I'm sorry, for Jordan Davis, I tell you right now, jump on it, because you're not going to get that. I'm sorry, he is not first. You're not going to get 2nd round. You're not going to get a 2nd round. Like I said, you'd be lucky if you got a 3rd round pick. I mean, my ceiling with him is 4th round. You would get a 4th or a 5th round pick offered for him. Hell, A.J. Brown right now is being offered for at least I think it was a 4th. And he's done more in the NFL than Jordan Davis has. So, I disagree with you on that one, man. I don't see the overwhelming value in Jordan Davis. He's had one good season out of 4. He's got to come back, man. He's got to do a better season for me.
Well, I just did a quick AI overview. Now I know these aren't the end all be all, but given the contract, age, and skill set that Davis would command, a high draft is likely a 2nd round pick or higher in a trade to the Eagles value him highly as a rotation piece along Jalen Carter. So they're saying they agree with me. It's more, maybe I would say it's probably a little high on the segment. That a third round pick wouldn't be crazy. I mean,
listen, if somebody offers you a third round pick for Jordan Davis, jump on it, because you're not getting a second rounder for him. You're not getting a first rounder for him. Like, there's no way. Again, no. If I'm a dope, okay, and I'm sitting here looking at his overall body of work, and if I'm telling you, dude, he hasn't shown me, other than last year, that he can go ahead and do this, and I'm a dope. You can imagine what all the other GMs are. So I said, if somebody comes knocking with a third rounder for you, if you can get a couple picks out of that third rounder, if you can get a second rounder, God bless you. But I just don't see it.
I could see. I mean, listen, I know I'm not gonna. We don't have to keep arguing on the facts, but I could see a team like the Panthers. I could see a team like the Giants. I could see a team like Vegas. I could see teams like that who. And do you know why his value could be higher to me too?
Overpaying.
Yeah. Well, is the market? The market in my eyes. What was the big on sale? What was the big spotlight in this playoffs? Defense. I mean, everything was about defense. I mean, the Broncos defense, the Patriots defense,
Seattle.
You know, even the Eagles defense. I mean, it was all this defense, and the Eagles have been a defensive powerhouse with Vic Fangio, which I think gets guys on a higher value. And I could see teams going, we need to bolster our defense if we want to compete this year. And
you got to do the suckers bet then. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of, man, because I can't say it. I can't, not with him. I mean, but here's the thing, too. If they also go and draft this kid that I brought up here, what's his name? I got to bring it back up here. Miller. If they go and get the kid Miller out of there, now you got some room and flexibility where you can offload a Jordan Davis.
Let me ask you a question. Do any guys that didn't have the great, maybe like Jahad Campbell, who he's kind of had an up and down season, but didn't have the season that people were hoping or touted as he would, or even the Vanilla Gorilla, guys like that, do they have a resurgence this year, or we have to hope they do, one or the other?
I think Ty Robinson is going to get more playing time. I'm hoping, because I've seen that kid play, and he's really good. But here's something I want you to ponder. Okay, do they trade Zach Bond? Think about this for a second.
No.
Oh, hold on.
I mean, again, if the contract, if the offer was there, like a good offer.
Well, here's the thing. I think they signed. I think they re-signed Nakobe Dean. If they re-sign Nakobe Dean, I have a feeling that they're going to try to pull the trigger and trade Zach Bond and trade him.
I think that would be a huge mistake, but keep going.
Listen.
I'm hearing
you. Can slide Jahad Campbell into his natural spot now. So now you would have Jahad Campbell and Nakobe Dean as your backers. And I think you could get something for Bond. You know what I mean? You can get something for him. So I just don't close the book on that. I think they could get more for a bomb trade.
I don't know. I got Nakobe Dean in the Dallas Cowboys uniform. I'm already writing them off in my brain. Like, forget you, bro. Like, that's how I look at it. I'm just kiddting around by that a little bit, but
yeah, I know.
If he does put on that scarf, forget it. He's dead to me.
Well, listen. No offense, but Dallas needs all. Yeah, well, Dallas needs all the help. I don't know if they're going to sign him though.
Hold on. Wouldn't it be a little Dallas though to get a linebacker who's oft injured?
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing.
Of
they just traded for Logan Wilson, and him and Nakobe Dean play the same position. So
you need guys to break it up a little bit. But I mean, Nakobe Dean you could get for a steal. I mean, if Nakobe Dean stays healthy this year, and with his contract, I mean, what do you think Nakobe Dean?
I think
he signs a 3-year contract. What's his AAV?
I don't know. Probably, I'd say probably 18 a year.
Really? I think it's less than that.
You think it's less? What are you looking at, about 12?
It's like 10, 12.
So you're thinking 3 years, 30 million?
Something like that. That's a fair roundabout 30, 32 million, somewhere in that range. Because if it's his injury history, he has not stayed on the field. He has not played a full season. When he does play, he's a difference maker. For a guy his size, he really does play above the rim for a guy his size. But at the same time, he's oft injured. He's just that problem. That's why I think his AAV would be lower. Nooms has been chiming in here. No one's paying that much for a 29-year-old wide receiver with overdeveloped muscles and waning flexibility. It's just not happening. I disagree with you. I think he is more value to us in our position than he is to somebody to trade from and bring him in. If there was a reasonable deal on the table, I can see it happening. And then also Nooms is saying he's kind of, I guess, more agreeing with you in this case. Jordan Davis has more value to this team than anyone else.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Like we can go back and forth on that one all day long, but I just don't see that. But Al, big question. What are you doing today? What's the meal of the day?
Actually, I'm going out to dinner tonight. It's my wife's birthday coming next Friday.
Okay.
And we're busy next Friday. We have a charity event on Saturday. We have something to do with the kids on Friday. So we picked today to go out. We're going to, if anybody's from the Delaware County area, the Clifton Heights area especially, the Clam Tavern Broadway Bar and Grill area is one of the top restaurants in the area. And it's always a good eat and good meal and one of our favorite places to go. So taking her and the family and some, to about 10 of us to go out to dinner tonight, which is always a great meal. And look for following on social media. I'm sure you'll see a picture of whatever I'm eating at that point. So seafood seems to be in the play tonight.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know what the home foreman wants to do for dinner this evening. I don't know. We could go. I could take after Pat, do a little pasta, maybe some chicken parm.
It's always actually, my wife, one of her favorite meals is my breadless chicken parm, where you saute the chicken in the pan and then you pour the sauce into the pan, like let it cook in the sauce, and then put the cheese on. There's no bread, so you don't have to deep fry it. It's like a healthier version, but also one of her favorite meals I've made for her in the past many times, especially even around her birthday. But that's always a go-to, and it's one of the easier meals to make. But whatever makes the wife happy, I always say.
Yeah, Nooms. Oh man, you tuned in too late, man. We were already talking about this early on, man. But yeah, Mitchkoff did 2 days during the All-Star break or during the winter break. He was doing 2 days here in Philly. It was reported the other night, so that's why he looks so much better. But Al, I think it's time we wrap this bad boy up. What do you say?
I do. You know me, I could talk for you all day long, Mikey, but yes, you're absolutely right. Again, Phillies are on at 1:00. They're playing the Yankees. We're going to see Andrew Painter on the hump. So that is what I'm looking for today. That's really what I'm looking for, to sit down, watch, enjoy. I'm actually going to watch it with my 95-year-old grandmother. She loves Phillies, so I might go sit and watch it with her for a little bit. So that's what's coming up. So guys, enjoy.
Hold on. Mm-hmm. Sixers Celtics tonight. Don't forget.
Sixers Celtics. Joel Embiid's hurt. Can't play ever. His knees are bothering now. What's the hamstrings or this, whatever. I am so over it at this point. Stop wasting Tyrese Maxey's career, and I'm looking forward to see what they can do in the draft. That's draft and see if they can unload some of these guys, PG or anybody. But
yeah, 5 years too late for that one for Embiid.
Barnes is not getting traded. I agree with you, Rob, on that one. That's a hard sell for me. His contract's not bad for a guy who can do what he does, and he's always a big part of everything. And he is an Iron Man in my eyes. Good morning, Barb. Haven't talked to you in a while. But other than that, for Mike Laro,
that's me.
I'm Al Zafiri. And don't forget to tune into the It's a Wrap Sports Network. Here is your upcoming Monday. You got a lot of final words, Flyers post-game shows, Pittsburgh post sports shows. Again, Friday night, I will not be on this Friday night. I actually had to take off, got some family engagements, and it's my wife's birthday, March 6th. So I said I will definitely not want to end off losing a limb or two in the process. So other than that, guys, that is what's coming up. And on the docket today, of course, is us and the final word. So Matty B will be here to I'm sure, pick apart everything we said.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't think we'll pick apart everything, but definitely our Eagles stuff. So, yeah, Barb, we start at 9.
Yeah. It's always just hard to link up, but we'll get to you. Don't worry. And as I said, when it comes Fridays, comes Phillies start the regular season, so late March. That Fridays I will have a kind of a mass show, Phillies post game, into talking a little bit about other stuff too. So you'll get to see me a little bit more of a waning start time based on how the Phillies go. But on that, guys, I want to appreciate you for joining us. We will see you all next time.